Welcome to today's coverage of the NPLW here at Gungahlin and Closed Oval. This match of the round sees Gungahlin United host the champions of last season, the Belconnen United Blue Devils. And it looks like it should be a pretty interesting encounter early on in the season, where it was sort of Gungahlin last week. They were solid against Tuggeranong, but Diego Iglesias admitted that his side could have been better and that they'll need to make marked improvements if they are to get a result here against the reigning champions. They still managed 6 goals in that outing, though. They'll find it much tougher to break down a disciplined Belconnen United, who are fresh off a bye last weekend, so they had their chance to do their scouting against their opponents today. Both teams only have one game, with the result of this match could be brushed off possibly to early season form, but with a short campaign you can't really give away too many points in this competition. It have been a while since we've seen Belconnen where they are on the ladder, sitting in 6th. Of course, they were disappointing perhaps coming into that game against Canberra FC. They lacked a bit of movement up front, and they were probably a disappointing draw in the end of that one, a goalless draw in round 1, followed by the bye, as I mentioned earlier. But it's unlikely that Anthony Jagranek will be too concerned about that. He knows his side well. He's still got a lot of players from last year's championship, and he knows that his side lacked fluency, and that'll be definitely something that he tries to change. He still has that formidable spine, and of course he has Matty Whittle up front, who will start off today. So we'll go through the teams just before they come out now. So look at the visitors first. We'll start from the back. Sally James in the keeping position. Bronte Pike, Jess Rashett, Leo Carnegie, Michaela Day, Catherine Brown, a late inclusion into the squad. She'll start in the number 9. Alexia Fauna, Matty Whittle, as I mentioned earlier, Nicole Jalocca, Eleanor Raymond and Samantha Price rounding out the 11. For the hosts today, we know there's plenty of goals in them here. They start with Kaylee Tanini in goal, Rachel Corbett in number 2, Ruby Gambali in number 3, Alex Patterson in the number 5, Ella Rose Brown in number 6, Stella DeMarco in number 8, Freya Jacobson in number 10, Charlotte Lynch in the 12, Madeline Percival in 13, Diane Sedu in 15, and Minna Wolf in the 17. So should get a kick-off underway shortly here. Of course, if you have been in Canberra this weekend, there's been plenty of action, not only across the NPL and NPLW grades, but of course the marathons earlier today for the Australian Running Festival caused a little bit of chaos on the roads. Perfect conditions, though, heading into this game. 21 degrees. Our referee today is, of course, Aisha Struth. She'll be partnered on the lines by Owen Watson and Eamon White. So we should have kickoff shortly. A little bit of a breeze around here at Gungahlin and Closed. 21 degrees today. Should be perfect conditions for hopefully a high-scoring game. I'm quite interested to see what Gungahlin can do in this game. They are a possible chance of causing an upset depending on which Belconnen we see. If we see the Belconnen that we saw in round 1, they are every chance of doing something in this game. So we see the visitors make their way out here. They'll be keen to get their first win of the season. Always such a tough side, no matter who's in their side each week to play against, and this match shapes as no different. So it seems we're just waiting on the home side, Gungahlin here, quite keen to make the champions wait. Here comes Gungahlin now. We should have a kickoff in a couple of minutes. It's very important for Gungahlin to sort of settle themselves in the early part of this game. If they're able to sort of control possession, we see too many times last year sides that were playing against Belconnen, they would try and hold possession, and of course Anthony Jagranek's sides were quite happy to to sort of push and put that defensive pressure on sides, and eventually they'd cause the turnover, and there were so many targets up front. But you know, this is a Belconnen side that doesn't have Jesse Williams anymore, of course, playing in the AFLW for North Melbourne, and he come out two sides for this fixture today. I was just watching Sally James in the warm-up, and I tell you what, she was doing quite a good job to keep a lot of the shots out from the Belconnen players. They had a bit of venom in it, so should keep Tanini quite busy early on. Of course, always a nice touch, the handshakes at the start. Respect given. Big chance for Gungahlin here, under the spotlight of the match of the round, of course, against the Premiers. It's worth noting this is also a Belconnen side that is missing Lauren Keir. She did have quite a interesting season with Canberra United. Was the captain last year, but Day will take those duties, and Patterson for Gungahlin. So kickoff shouldn't be too far away as our linesmen move into position. Aisha Struth puts the ball down in the middle. Should find players go to positions quite shortly. Always the potential of these sort of big build-ups that a side that doesn't quite have the experience could lose their nerves, but looks like Gungahlin will be up for this one. So it'll be Jalocka and Whittle to kick us off here. And there we are at Gungahlin and close. Jalocka back to Price. And quite happy to play it back to Brown. And this is the Belconnen that we're used to seeing, that movement so early on. And Whittle plays it back to Pike. Happy to just control possession early, but good pressure there from Brown, and a turnover for Gungahlin early as Lynch is dispossessed. Now in the middle is Day. Plays it wide looking for Whittle, but Patterson, the captain, gets there. Happy to settle on it, but Gambali under a little bit of pressure there. Plays it to Patterson. And Pike will see it out, so bit of a lively start here. Patterson brings it back in. Nice little short ball looking for DeMarco. Now it's sort of played downfield. Brown should be able to deal with that quite easy. Brown, another code hopper as well, playing for the Eastlake Demons in the AFL locally here as well as Whittle. Looks to play it back to Pike, and they just control it so well, Belconnen, and that's exquisite skill there from Whittle, and she's dispossessed. Manages to get the ball to Price, and now they can go out that outside here through Raymond. Plays the ball looking for Jalocka, and Gungahlin managed to deal with that a little bit too easy. Again, looking on that outer side, it's Lynch with the ball. Plays it back here to Percival. Now Wolf. Just running out of space a little bit, Gungahlin. They do win the throw here, but because it may have been the linesman thrown that the wrong way as Jalocka. Plays it back. Just control this so well already. So much possession in Gungahlin's half as Brown. Plays a wide ball. Looking for Pike. Runs out of a bit of space. Now finds Whittle. Can whip one in. She wants. Opts to play it to Jalocka. Shut down well there by Lynch. Just happy to control the possession now. Back through Rashart, and just a turnover there, but then Gungahlin not prepared to sort of sit on the ball. Now they have a chance. This time through Corbett. Nice touch there in the middle, looking for Patterson, and that's a lovely ball for Lynch. Suddenly surrounded, though, so quickly by Belconnen defenders. But there was good signs there. Patterson and Lynch need to link up well today if they're any chance of winning this one. Controlling it there was Corbett, and she wins the free kick. Does really well. So Wolf headed down there, it's controlled play, but now Gungahlin, that may have brought a foul on Fournier, but it wasn't. Now back to Wolf. They'll be able to get out through Carnegie. To Percival, wants to play it sideways. This is a lovely ball looking for Patterson. Ball's just going to beat her in the end, though, but sort of that creative play that needs to stretch the Belconnen defence, and Brown gets it from Pike. Searching ball for Whittle. Dealt with by Gambale. Already Whittle on that left side causing a lot of trouble. Was looking for Jalocka, but ends up finding Fauna instead. Now Raymond finding space on the right side. Links up with Carnegie. Back to Raymond. Again, just controlling so much of the ball here in the half of Gungahlin. They're happy to have the possession. And boy, Gungahlin pushing those numbers back. You can see Lynch, their strikers, getting back into that back third just to help out. Of course, she is one of those players who does the ultra marathons as well, so I don't think fitness is going to be an issue for Lynch, but this is a chance for Whittle. Controls it. And now Price with the shot. Disappointing end there. And again, Gungahlin under the pressure early here. Whittle wins it back to Pike. Now to Day. And does well there, DeMarco. Now plays Lynch. Did very well under pressure there, Corbett. Played Wolf. It's a fantastic ball. Just gets cut off in the end. Looking for Brown. All the way back to James, and works out for them in the end. Whittle to Jalocka. Again, turning it over in midfield, Gungahlin just can't control it. There's Raymond. Lovely ball to Jalocca, surrounded, but she finds that pass to Day. This is Carnegie on the edge of the box looking for Whittle, and she'll open the scoring. Too easy there for Belconnen. Plenty of numbers there for Gungahlin, and they'll be very disappointed in that one. Seemed to be a little bit of a nothing chances as Day looked to just put that pressure on, and Carnegie wanted the ball more. She just put a ball into the box, and we see what Whittle can do when she finds that time and space, and she opens the scoring, and that's not the start that Gungahlin would have wanted against the defending champions. As Brown gets us back underway, passes it to Jacobson. Now Patterson. You see here the press from Belconnen. They just squeeze, and they get that turnover through Raymond, but fell to Brown, and now Carnegie again, and fantastic from Rashard from the back. She can play ball in if she wants. No. Another chance for Belconnen though. Carnegie will whip it in. Found Pike, and again it's a bit lax from Gungahlin at the moment. Tanini sort of patted it down in the box and really needed players to get there, and now Pike plays Day, and that'll be a foul. All a little bit too easy for Belconnen at the moment. Chance for Day to whip it in. Goes near post, and Tanini's there. Whittle goes over in the box. Nothing doing, and looking like there may have been a chance there for Belconnen, but Aisha Struth, the ref, nothing doing there. And again, this is that pressure that Belconnen applies. Again, turning it over through Raymond. Carnegie, a wonderful ball, looking for Day. Now Whittle, no chance there. Corbett, a clearing ball, desperately clearing ball as Brown has people inside. Opts to go back to James. Now Rashard. Searching ball wide. And Whittle again, just getting through a mountain of work. This time dispossessed, but back to Day. And this is that movement we were talking about, the pre-game, that they didn't have in that round one fixture. Now Patterson. But again, no one's there, but it'll fall for Brown potentially. Pike does well, and now Whittle. Thought she was unlucky not to get the free kick there. Dealt with easily there by Rashard. Again, Barley is looking for Lynch, and Rashard just happy to put that one over. Challenge now for Gungahlin. We saw them put 6 past Tuggeranong last week. This is a different challenge for them, as Lynch makes a run off the throw. Manages to control it. Can play Jacobson in the box as a poor ball, and Brown is able to take it, but only as far as Gungahlin. But Pike was there. And now Wolf goes back, but again they're under pressure. Every touch, Gungahlin. That was fantastic pressure there that time from Fauna. Really turning the screws, the champions at the moment, and Gungahlin makes the error there. very happy, Anthony Jagranek, with his side in the first 11 minutes here. They've just controlled absolutely everything. Now Pike down to Whittle, just has such control over it. Now to Jaloka, a through ball looking for Carnegie. Just across the face and a goal kick. Always a bit tough as a goalkeeper when you have to go get your own ball. So then he'll be happy to take a break, and our outfield players have just had no chances when they've had the ball. And this time, Raymond back to Rashart. They just control it through Pike. Fantastic looking for Whittle, but Patterson getting back there, helping out in defence. Now Day. Back to Rashart. Just controls it. Might look to switch the play and just keep moving and working Gungahlin over in defence. Absolutely unforgiving. Rashart with a heavy touch. I thought that may have opened the door for Patterson. Might now for Wolf. But again, look at this spread. Pike working overtime in the left back position. Back to Brown and Rashart. Marshalling that defence, just doing so well. So much time for Brown as players are just sitting off, and that is almost the perfect ball. There's Wolf getting back there. Challenge here, Whittle and Sidhu. Sidhu does well there. Such a handful, Whittle. Nearly a quarter of an hour gone. 1-0 to Belconnen United, the champions. It was Whittle opening the scoring. Just takes her time here, Tanini. Looks to go wide this time, looking for Jacobson. Ends up in Patterson and Pike just wearing her like a glove. Gungahlin back to Sidhu. Probably the most space that has been allowed of this defence for Gungahlin, but heavy touch and turns it over. Now Fauna plays it to Day, could make it 2-0. Oh, just got under that shot there and sent it over the post. Again, they're looking so dangerous, even when they don't have the ball, Belconnen. Tanini now goes long looking for Lynch. Goes over the top of Brown's head, and now Brown for Belconnen can take it. Now Rashart. Look at that pace and the confidence to take the game on, but DeMarco dispossesses her there. Plays it back to Sidhu. What can Gungahlin muster up here? DeMarco gets that touch on the ball finally, but it's probably a little bit lax looking for Lynch, and now Brown has runners everywhere. One of them's Whittle, who manages to shake off Gungahlin, who does well to come back for the second bite and put it out. Back for Jaloka. It's a back from Pike. Now Day can whip one in. It's a fantastic ball looking for Carnegie at the back. Just, again, Gungahlin getting so many numbers back, but works out this time for them with Percival. Now to Lynch. The most space she's been allowed, but again just turns it over. See this switch play. Well, they just look to control the ball. Now Pike. Looked for Whittle. Gunghahlin's right there. And now Patterson. Just look to concede there. Day just bosses it there. Now Carnegie has Raymond making so many runs on the edge of the box. Her versus Wolf. Nice touch there. Now Carnegie. It's a high one into the box. Didn't really give Whittle a shot at it. Now Patterson stops to play it out and relieve the pressure for now, but it's relentless. And that one goes off the head. That'll be a corner there for Belconnen. Always creative. Could find the head of Rashard or Brown here. Swooped in there by Carnegie. Jacobson does well to clear it. Forno plays it back to Raymond. Has time. Looks for Price. Couldn't quite control it, and now DeMarco with a lovely touch just to find herself some space, and Brown kicks it away from Brown. Jacobson just a touch heavy, but Cedo gets there. Now it opens up for Lynch. Finds the first touch, but pass has just been lacking at the moment for Lynch. And as you see, Whittle moved to that outer side now. This happens often. So Carnegie will come to the near side. A lax ball there from Day to Rashard. And now Raymond has a dash. It's a poor ball though. Only as far as Percival. Now Gungahlin just seemed to have caught the flow in the last few minutes. Gungahlin just again puts it out though. Well, they're looking for Carnegie. Can't get it in, and Jacobson only as far as Pike. Again, making Brown really work for Gungahlin, and Brown will just work it back to James. Well, Lynch cuts that off, but as far as Rashard is able to mop up. So, not a bad ball, but Percival able to work with it. Now Jalocka under pressure from Corbett. Goes back in again. Wolf and Corbett seem to work it out. Now Wolf has some space. Lynch calls for it. Finds her on the hip. There's some space here for DeMarco. Finds Jacobson possibly in a race with Brown. Brown a touch only as far as Patterson. She does well to win the throw here. So that was a nice passage from Gungahlin. I don't think Jacobson was expecting the pass, but she made the most of the situation to get them a throw in a good position. It'll be their first corner for the game for Gungahlin. So let's see what their set piece is like. So the first real pressure that Belconnen's been under in this game. Patterson will play it short. Gungahlin plays it in, and it's dealt with really well there by Rashard, and now DeMarco just has a lashing shot at it. I believe that's Gungahlin's first shot for the game. Coming about 23 minutes in. Belconnen, they don't allow you to set up, but now Corbett finds Lynch, and now Patterson. Brown was unmarked in the box, but just wasn't able to see her there, Patterson. Sally James does it easy. She has it. Raymond in an acre of space here. Cuts it to Whittle, who's moved central, just can't find Jalocka. Ball in from Wharf. Looked for Corbett, but it's taken there, and Jalocka wins her side of throw. Plays it to Price. Has it back to Raymond, but cut off by Corbett. Opts to keep it in defence, and then Wolf just gives it straight to Whittle. Does well there, Percival, and her and Jalocka meet, and then Whittle wins a corner. So now a chance for Belconnen. It'll be Carnegie. It's a fantastic ball. That one just dipping over the bar from Rashard. Again, you'll see every time Tanini then goes to get the ball, every player for Gungahlin is marked, making it very difficult to choose which way to go with the goal kick. She might opt to go long here to either Lynch or Brown. Goes a little bit wider looking for Patterson, and Pike had the better of that matchup so far. This one falls to Brown. Of course, the two Browns in that matchup, Ella Rose and Catherine. Catherine getting the better on that occasion. Now DeMarco. Does well, plays it to Jacobson. Brown wins it again. Whittle gets that nice touch to Jalocka. Opening up. This is time now, under pressure from Cito, and now Wolf, but seems to get past them, and that time it was Percival. Chance now for Gungahlin just to clean up, but puts Wolf under pressure, does Percival. Now DeMarco against Price. Seems to be the lone hand in the midfield at the moment. Now Brown, a lovely ball for Pike. Can get onto the left, opts to go on the right. Back to Whittle. Seems to be all over the field. Ripped through everyone, and Fauna then plays it back to Raymond. Jalocka didn't know a whole lot about that one. And this chance for Carnegie off the crossbar. Jalocka goes high. Percival, Whittle again, no. Carnegie. And DeMarco manages to clear. Fantastic work there Now to Lynch and Patterson. Now Brown again, and Ella Rose on this occasion gets the better of Catherine. Gungahlin only as far as Pike. Now Day. Has it all the way back to James. Deals with it. Now just opens up for Rashart. That's a ball to Raymond. Percival should get to this first. Has it back to Tanini on the left. Just a clearing ball. So Raymond now for Price and controls it. Sidhu ushers it out. So Gungahlin still really in this contest. They've just got to find more chances going forward. Of course, Belconnen will press for that second goal as Day working Patterson over here on the sideline. Has it back to Whittle, who's just been everywhere in this first half, and now Pike. And as far as Jacobson, so many numbers back, and this was making it so hard for Gungahlin is the fact that when they do get the possession, they look up and there's Rashart, they look up and there's Brown ahead of them. And with Day controlling the midfield at the moment, it's making it very hard as Brown now. Ella Rose looks for DeMarco. It might fall to Lynch, who has to get wide, and now Raymond. Inside to Rashart. This is where they control it so well. Day. She called Pike onto that. It's just a little bit slower, but it could fall to Whittle and just dealt with by Percival. There's Lynch. All a bit messy at the moment. Brown opts to reset and go to Pike, but Patterson working in that defensive position does well. Now Whittle, the quick one to Jalocka, the nutmeg on Sidhu. And the chance 1-2, and that was fantastic play from Jalocka. The quick throw in from Whittle. And then a nice little bit of fancy work there. The back heel to get the nutmeg on Sidhu, and then it was a quick 1-2, and now it's 2-0. Belconnen in the driver's seat. So came into the game sort of questioning what Belconnen we would see, and we're seeing a resounding answer from Belconnen so far. They are, of course, the champions. They're so impressive on their day when they are on song, and they haven't put a foot wrong in this first half. There could be more goals in it for them, that's for sure. As Gungahlin plays it to Brown, but just work it so well in defence. Brown and Rashart, and now Pike, who's been really good on this left back position, as Whittle, if she wants her, she uses her. On the edge of the box, Whittle. A ball that cuts everything, and Price, oh, it's all a bit too easy for Belconnen at the moment. perhaps a reality check of sorts. Of course, Gungahlin were fantastic last week against Tuggeranong, but did say that it is hard to play against the champions. And Jalocka just, again, another mistake that time. It was from Corbett. Headed it back, and Jalocka with the volley was absolutely clinical. And a goal from nothing, and suddenly it's 3-0. This is getting ugly for Gungahlin. They've got to stop the bleeding. Could be a lot more goals here, the way that Belconnen are playing. They're in a mood. When they're in this sort of mood, they're extremely hard to stop. DeMarco. Lovely touch in midfield. She's been the shining light, I think, for Gungahlin in this first half, if you were to take any positives out of it. Now Percival. It's a good ball to Corbett. But again, it's all a bit disjointed when it gets to there. And now Whittle. She plays and then moves straight away. And Day now, Jalocka. She'll no doubt be hunting a hat trick at some stage. Now Corbett has Lynch up forward, but Raymond has the speed and is able to just play it to Carnegie. Gets around Wolf a little bit too easy, but and this is that movement off the ball. Pike so busy on the left side. Faces up to Gungahlin and Whittle. Now against Seadoo. Plays it inside. Might stay in for Jalocka, no. It'll be another corner. So about 10.5 minutes to play here in the first half, plus a little bit extra time. Carnegie. This time looking, gets through everyone, and thought Rashart might have got herself on the score sheet, and that's a flashing shot there from Fauna, just over the bar. So you'd have to think what's going through the mind of Diego Iglesias at the moment. His side down 3-0 against the champions. They were so good last week. Have to think what his half-time speech might be. It would be potentially about looking at controlling the ball as Aisha, our ref, gets a nice back heel there. Fantastic touch. Belconnen back on it again. And James getting in on the act as well. So far out of a box and just enjoying life as the Belconnen keeper. Now Brown moved into that right back position as looks like Raymond's gone more central. Now Jalocka. Feed it back to Whittle. Only as far as Jacobson, who sits back now. Perhaps a chance with the goes begging again, and there's a heavy touch there from Price. Yeah, you'd have to think what Iglesias says to his east side at half-time. I think perhaps spending more time on the ball, but I mean, it's just been the movement from Belconnen that hasn't allowed them any real chances when they do have possession of the ball. I mean, you look at it here from the goal kick, and there's absolutely no one free at the moment for Gungahlin. Perhaps DeMarco in the middle, but it could be a tactic to leave it open as Whittle as far as Seadoo. Should get it back though. Heads it down to Jalocka. That's a fantastic ball. Now Price has a chance to get on the score sheet and does it clinically. Left corner, and this is getting ugly for Gungahlin at the moment. Has all the hallmarks of a game that could go horribly wrong for them, and what a fantastic touch from Fauna, just lay it down to Price, and she gave Tanini absolutely no chance in the bottom left-hand corner. So another race start from Brown. Just got to find a way to get themselves on the scoreboard here, Gungahlin, but it's a bit hard. But that was nice from Percival, and Raymond cops that one smack bang in the chest, and ooh, Whittle went down for a sec there, and seems to be okay. And Wolf cops a yellow for that, for the pull. It's not long to go in this first half, but if there are any question marks as to whether or not Belconnen would be a major player again, they're being put to rest again. They look every bit the champions of last season. As Day works it in, Patterson gets a head on it, falls to Carnegie, and Jalocka was looking for the hat-trick there. Now Price. Lynch has a chance to get rid of it, and he does. This time finds Patterson. No. Going back there was Fauna all the way back to James. Again, no pressure on her. Play back to Fauna. Open space for Raymond. They're just working Gungahlin over. Now falls to Fauna again. That's a mountain of work. Day dug a nice hole with that pass. Just dug her foot into the turf. You can see there's a few holes in the centre of the pitch. We're not quite sure where they're from. They possibly the junior rugby league, but it couldn't be the seniors. As you see, the markings and lines on the field still from the rugby league yesterday. The local side, the Gungahlin Bulls, of course, play here at the enclosed, as well as the AFL side, the Gungahlin Jets, and that's what it was built for. Now, Day looking for Jacobson, but again, Pike, this time looking for Whittle, not quite. So Tanini, nothing really on, and Rashart sends it back, only as far as Jalocka. Now Day, heaps of space, and Pike's now found herself, but called off. I don't think she was. Of course, the linesman directly in line with it, so Seydoux now with Percival. Again, it's all a bit stagnant up front, and Jalocka back to Whittle. Now Day. It was a strong tackle from Seydoux. Fantastic connections there. Fauna and Whittle. Now Raymond. Put it in. That's a great ball of Pike, and it'll fall to Fauna, who just gets saved there on the line to Nini by Gambale. It's coming back, this time through Raymond. Oh, a lovely touch there to send Wolf the other way. She does have that yellow, Wolf. Does have to be careful with her challenges. Jalocca has that one deflected to Marco. Yeah, that time Jalocca just a little bit too eager to get in the back of Corbett. This time DeMarco goes back and wins the ball. Percival under pressure from Jalocca. Falls to Wolf. Lynch was just playing behind Raymond. Wins the ball. It's a good challenge, but it's been the story of Gungahllin's afternoon. Just unable to find those passes when they do get half an opportunity. On the flip side of the coin, it's been Belconnen has just been absolutely fantastic when they have had it. Controlled possession. You see here, Day, now that they are in that position, they can sort of chance their arm as Whittle, cut off by Sedu. It's a fantastic clearing ball, but Wolf's challenged by Jalocca, and Raymond wasn't expecting it, but the pace there allowed her to get onto it and win the throw. She's been fantastic too, and Jalocca could find a third here. No, opts to give it to Pike, and it's all a bit hard to clear at the moment. It's Jacobson, I think as far as Day on the edge of the box, there's plenty of numbers, and again, DeMarco does fantastic. Pike. And Sedu. Let's look at getting anything in front of that. So we wind down in the shadows of halftime here. Belconnen a chance to make it 5 with this corner. Of course, it'll be Carnegie again. Lob it in was the call for the bench. I don't think that's what they would have been hoping for from that set piece. To Nini. Again, no space for Gungahlin at all. It's my fault of Patterson, though, who does well, but again, it's just surrounded by Belconnen. He plays Lynch. Lynch to Gambale. This is better from Gungahlin, but Ruby Gambale was just surrounded by players there. One of them, Leon Carnegie, who gets it out. Oh, Ruby goes short. Gambale to Carnegie. And Dale win that. And Sedu does well. Now a chance in the shadows of halftime is DeMarco. Wins aside a throw. Gambale to Lynch, and that'll be halftime. A fantastic one from Belconnen. They lead 4-0. Started with Maddie Whittle with the opener. 2 goals to Jalocca, and of course Sam Price with a goal of her own. 4-0, and a long way back for Gungahlin in the second half. Don't go away. We'll be back shortly. So we're back here for the second half of this NPLW round 3 fixture. Of course, Belconnen 4-0 in that first half. A fantastic team performance from them. Of course, a few doubters from that opening game, but they've certainly put them to bed in the first half here, and they could definitely look to go on with it here. Of course, Nicole Jalocka scored 2 in that first half. She could go for the hat-trick. Whittle and Price, the other scorers. For Gungahlin, can't really say too much other than they should look to control the ball in this second half and try and get something out of this game. They're very unlikely to put 4 past Belconnen, but a goal or 2 will give them confidence heading into next week's game. It's Belconnen already out warming up. I dare say Diego Iglesias are taking a little bit of time to talk to his side and run through exactly what he wants from them in this second half. I thought Bronte Pike was fantastic for Belconnen in that first half. Playing on that left back position, she really controlled the play, made some runs, linked up really well with Maddie Whittle, and was able to really shut down the dangerous Alex Patterson, of course the captain for Gungahlin. Ellie Raymond was also fantastic. Her speed really came to the fore, and she was able to shut down Gungahlin, Charlotte Lynch. So it hasn't been a whole lot for Sally James to do in this one, just the one shot coming for Gungahlin. So they'll look to really improve on that. I thought Leah Carnegie was also quite good for Belconnen. You can almost say that their whole team was good, especially when Michaela Day sort of just bossed it in midfield. Brown and Rashard in defence were extremely strong. You look at Jalocka's 2 goals as well, the nutmeg that she had on Dion Sedu. That'll be in highlights, no doubt, this week. But just out here and it's waiting on Gungahlin. Not sure where they are. We haven't seen the refs. They're not out as yet, so perhaps a few minutes away from the second half kick-off. It will be Gungahlin getting us underway this half. So we've already had a few kick-offs, 4 of them to be exact, and here come our refs, Aisha Struth and Owen Watson and Eamon White. Just the one offside in that first half. It's Bronte Pike finding herself on the wrong side of it, but I didn't feel like she was offside looking at it from the angle that I'm in. But of course you've got to back your linesmen and women in when they make the decision, and you can see just from their warm-up here, Belconnen just love it when they have the football in their possession. They just love to knock it around. A lot of one-touch stuff as well. Something that you can take from Anthony Jagranek's sides is that they are all very well drilled, all very well skilled, and see there Carnegie playing the wide ball. There is a touch of a breeze here, sort of going towards the right of screen, but not a whole lot. Probably more blustery as it seems to happen here in Gungahlin. Perfect conditions for football, 21 degrees, no real threat of rain, although there might be late showers tonight, possibly, but a little bit of cloud cover, not too hot for the players, which is exactly what you want. And hopefully, if you're a Gungahlin fan, a couple of goals coming for you in the second half. If you're a Belconnen fan, you want pretty much of the same in this second half. As Gungahlin making their way out, really need to make the most of their chances in this half if they do get them. probably go the same and have Brown kick it off. Really need to get a bit out of Wolf, who looks like she's going to play up front. They'll move Alex Patterson to left back just to shore up that defence. Percival and Seydou, and it'll be Corbett, Jacobson and DeMarco in midfield. So a 4-3-3 for Gungahlin, much the same. Just a slight positional change, and here's Patterson in the thick of it early. There's Wolf. It's probably been the directive from Diego, was probably wanted to see his side play, control the ball a little bit more. Wolf can't do that on this occasion as she's dispossessed. And we'll see what Belconnen can do straight away. James is calling for them to spread, and they do. Starting through Pike. Lovely ball out to Whittle, who can whip it in from there. Opts not to at this stage. Now does. Had Price and Fauna at the back post. This time it'll fall to Pike. And that's a little bit better from Gungahlin. Clearing this time through DeMarco. A lovely touch. The one touch there from DeMarco, but Lynch can't gather it in on that occasion, and a chance to reset for Belconnen. Just a heavy touch there from Whittle. Of a sub now. It'll be Karaya Bobbin coming on. There won't be a hat-trick for Jalocca in this one as she comes off. Of course, with the game very much in hand here. So a chance for the youngster to form part of a formidable attack up front here for Belconnen. We'll see Whittle now probably go to that central position, and she'll play in Jalocca's role, and Bob and Fresh will be able to play out wide. This time Patterson, strong throw in. Rush out just too strong for Brown, and Brown backtracks and gets it. Raymond a day. Spread when they can. Price. It's a little bit too heavy in the handball there. So a chance for Gungahlin. They've looked better in the early stages of this second half. Perhaps a little bit of complacency creeping in for Belconnen. Patterson is pretty good when she does have a chance to whip it in. Might be looking for the head of Lynch or Jacobson. The two that I'd be tipping that would be on the end of this one if it does hit its mark. She opts to go herself, and just over the bar there from Patterson, but better signs from Gungahlin. Now that's interesting to see. Sally James didn't want to go get that ball, so she called on Coach Jagranek to pass her a football from the halfway line. So perhaps the smarts there from James rather than go get the football. And Pike again causing so much trouble down that left side. She looks to play Whittle in, but Percival's there. Carnegie. And DeMarco, that's better from Gungahlin, but again, just giving it away. On that occasion, it was Corbett. And here we go. Bob and her first touches her. So whipped in. It wasn't too bad, but Carnegie has a chance, and Her shot goes wide and might fall to Bobbin. No. I'll tell you what, I didn't mind that whipped in cross from Bobbin. It quite a bit of relish on that one, and great start there for the substitute, and probably a bit disappointing for Carnegie. She wasn't able to really get anything on the ball. She got under it more than anything and skied it. Oh, fantastic from Raymond, but as far as Percival, down to Brown, now Rashard to Bobbin. That's a good pass back, but Wolf does well. Now Brown, but yeah, plays Corbett. This is better from Gungahlin, able to spread. Now a chance, no. It'll be Day just getting back there. Oh! The lines here, and James is a mile out of her box and picks it up. Well, I was saying earlier, these lines can cause a little bit of havoc, and James just, in the middle of nowhere, has picked it up, thinking that the line right next to where she picked the ball up was the box. And it might give Gungahlin the opening that they need. A little bit of luck goes their way. I'm surprised there wasn't a card there, but given the benefit of the doubt, Aisha Struth. But, yeah. So Jacobson can hit a ball when she wants to. And that was all. Just tried to finesse it, but good signs for Gungahlin. Again, already had double the chances that they had in that first half, and we'll see a sub now. Coming for Gungahlin, it'll be Courtney McCann coming on, and looks like Dion Seadoo's succumbed to what might be a hamstring niggle. So it probably means that Ruby Gambali will move from right back central, and that's what's happened. Again, Pike. So they might test that new right side of Gungahlin's defence. And here's McCann with her first touch. It's a lovely throw for Jacobson. He's looking for Lynch, and they weren't on the same page there. Now James. A little bit busier in this half than she was last half. Scoops that one, looking for Pike, and again Gungahlin just controlling it now. If it wasn't 4-0, you would say that they are definitely in the hunt. Oh, that was Aisha Struth was the referee, was blindsided by that one. Didn't see the handball from Rashard. And then Belconnen get away with one. Now Pike. She's found so much space and cleared there by Percival. See how easy it goes from defence to attack from Belconnen, though. Now, a last corner from Carnegie didn't have the desired result. Does have a few on the box here. Oh, look to find the head of Brown. Nearly does on that occasion. Have a reset. Okay, bounce off the back of Patterson. Again, another ball in. The one they didn't know a whole lot about, Price. And Patterson just works in front of, in fact, it was Percival in front of Tanini on that occasion. But again, just finding that space from nothing did Price. And we reset the other side. Could have been third time lucky for Belconnen here. All set up at the back. Oh, nice run forward. Tanini gets a fist on it. And Jacobson to DeMarco, and they clear well Gungahlin. Now they can break through Brown. Got a bit more about them this half, Gungahlin. The referee's got his flag up, and I think Whittle was offside there. She was. Now, what was the throw going the other way? I think that may have been what I was calling. Lynch, shut down by Rashard. A whole lot of space to move. Patterson have liked her at left back though. It's a long ball in to Brown. Now Brown back to James. Controls it for Pike. That's a lovely ball, and McCann, the sub from Gungahlin, does really well there. Forces them back. Weren't able to do that a whole lot in the first half, Gungahlin, so perhaps starting to tire Belconnen. Raymond made a run at the bottom of the screen. They failed to spot her. Now Pike again in an acre of space here on that left side. Oh, she gets past McCann a little bit too easy. And now plays a lovely ball across face. Just asking probably a little bit too much of Whittle. Patterson manages to clean up. Now Day, haven't called her name too many times this half. She was the general in the first. Now Pike against McCann. And Day really digs that one out again. Fantastic work there from Corbett. And now Wolf has Brown, and then Lynch. A bit of pace. Can she keep it in? No. It's better though from Gungahlin. Now Brown. Again, they look to switch, and Pike is just finding so much space, and that's a lovely ball from Rashard. This game really opening up at the moment, end-to-end stuff. It was fantastic from Bobbin. Puts pressure on Percival, but does okay there, the centre back. Corbett, lovely ball for DeMarco. She's been fantastic today. This time. Can take on Pike if she wants. She goes short to Lynch. Lynch getting worn like a glove by Rashard and just loses it. But now, chance on the counter. I thought that may have been a free kick for holding against Bobbin on Percival. Now Lynch. Just not at that same level of intensity, Belconnen. Now Lynch. Looking for Brown. That's... Oh, called offside, and I don't think she was. I don't think she was offside at all. But again, much better signs. I don't know what Diago put in the water at half-time, but it's been a different Gungahlin. Can they get on the scoreboard? Here's Pike. Oh, can play it in very nicely to Bobbin. the 213s. It's a good challenge there from Percival, and now McCann. Back to Percival, and then nice touch, and DeMarco always has a good first touch, and she manages to bring it down, controls it. Just feel a lot calmer if you're a Gungahlin supporter, and DeMarco has the ball, and here she is again. Oh, lovely first touch. Just rolled her foot over it. Now Wolf. Here's Brown, just finding a lot more space. Here she goes. Oh, she didn't find a whole lot of space in that first half, but there are a few tired players out there at the moment. Could possibly steal one. DeMarco, fantastic there. Can she play the ball in? It's a good ball looking for Brown, but James comes out. Just manages to control it, but Jacobson in the middle. We'll see what happens to Belconnen a little bit when Day is taken out of the game. I think a few signs we'll be watching the sort of opening 15 minutes of this second half, and what Gungahlin's been able to do against Belconnen here. I know the scoreline is 4-0, so you could perhaps say that Belconnen perhaps have rested on their laurels. That's a fantastic ball looking for Whittle, and Campali with the urgency forces a corner. So we're saying you could perhaps put it down to the fact that the score is 4-0 in Belconnen's favour, but certainly Gungahlin hasn't laid down in this second half, and they've made it a pretty entertaining contest to start in the first 15 of the second half as Carnegie lines up the corner. Plays it again to those moving, and Whittle nearly with the hand of God there. I thought she was trying to scoop that into the goal. Maybe blindside Osha Struth, and ends up going through everyone, and somehow Belconnen get another corner. So no goals in the second half. Still 4-0 to Belconnen. Could make it the high fives here. So lovely ball in, and Tanini does well to get a fist on it. Patterson just clears it looking for Brown, but they've looked a lot more assured back there with Patterson in the left back role. Would have been quite interested to see what may have happened had she started in that role instead of Wolf, but that's something that may be a cause for reflection in the aftermath of this game, as Carnegie gets it from Whittle and turned on the inside, and now opens up here, and again just breaking down in that final third for Gungahlin. Here's Stella DeMarco though. Just a heavy touch, but she wins it back. Plays it into Lynch. Back to DeMarco. A lovely ball, but James is there. Really put a foot wrong today, except she did have that error with the lines, but be a harsh judge. And here's the pace from Bobbin. Nearly there, and Patterson does well and puts the pressure on Kira Bobbin. Hasn't she been lively since she came on? Whittle protesting. Perhaps it came off a Gungahlin player. Fantastic throw from Patterson. But here's Day. Oh, that's a ball and a half looking for Carnegie, but McCann does well. Now back to Day from Whittle. Oh, Corbett does extremely well, and a good challenge. And then plays Lynch. Has DeMarco wide, opts to use her. McCann making a run now with the fresh legs in that right back position. Worked over by Brown. Back to DeMarco. Corbett. This is better from Gungahlin, just controlling it. That's fantastic work. Now Percival. Oh, don't know if she meant to do that, but she controls it anyway. working it, but just can't keep it. Get it back. Brown is looking for Lynch, but Rashart's been a rock at the centre-back position. And from Patterson, only as far as Raymond. Now Day. Perhaps you see the influence of Jalonka up front for Belconnen since she's come off. But, I mean, Bobbin's been a pretty good replacement. But Gungahlin just controlling it a lot more in this second half than they did in the first. They looked a little bit rushed. If you are another NPLW coach who's sort of watching this and going, well, if I can sort of control the ball, get through that Belconnen zone, then I'm sort of half a chance. Of course, it's all getting through that zone in the first half when the players are fresh. You know, a nice little counter-attack opportunity here through Pike. Looks for Whittle. One like a glove there by Gambali. Rashard has Raymond. So much space now. Oh, they want to fall to Whittle. She plays a wonderful ball, but Pike is called offside and would have been not a whole lot in that to be called offside. So again, Barley has it wide, probably a little bit too much on that. Yeah, just curls away from Brown. Day, just that lovely one touch. And a Brown. Now it's Carnegie. So much space, plays Pike. It's got Bobbin on the inside. One touch and off McCann for a corner. So again, rather than getting Carnegie to run after the ball, Jagranek passes one from halfway. Some ball from Carnegie off the head of Pike, falls to Price, but again manages to be cleared there. I thought it may have been a free kick to Day for a push, perhaps. Gave it a little bit more than was actually in it from Ella Rose Brown. Fauna. Back to James. Working wide, and Pike again causing trouble for McCann. And plays a wonderful ball looking for Bobbin. But Patterson again in that left back position has been fantastic since she was moved there. Manages to stop that one. Looks a little bit sore for her troubles there, Patterson. That was... No, she's called the goal kick, but that may have been a corner, and Anthony Jagranek certainly thought it was, but that chance came about because Patterson got tangled up and then was a bit sore. So again, this is probably the first chance Belconnen's had to set up their press. Every player is accounted for. And Day just not quite as clinical as she was in that first half. And Brown had a chance to get the touch off Rashard and couldn't quite do it. DeMarco is always causing that pressure. They're so confident on the ball, though, as the champions. And here's Carnegie. I think she's moved more central. They've moved Whittle out wide. It's a credit to Belconnen, the amount of positional changes and ability to rotate left, right, move more centrally, play on a wing if you have to. I think that's why they've been the team that they have for so long, because every player is willing to play out of position. Every player is willing to move to a different position and work within the formation. It's a lovely header there from Wolf for Brown. Plays Lynch. He's on, but not sure whether she was aware that the ball was coming, but certainly that was one of the better chances that Gungahlin had, and I thought it was a fantastic ball from Brown if Lynch was aware that it was coming. Now Whittle, that's a slicing ball. Just can't find Pike at this stage. Whittle's now slotted into that left back role. Now Bobbin, she's got the pace and gets a shot on target. Wasn't really going to trouble Tanini. Now Day, so much space in midfield. And Patterson puts that one out. Wasn't prepared to chance her arm against Carnegie. Again, these corners are mounting for Belconnen. That's a fantastic ball in. Fell off. Looked like it fell off Bobbin, and a quick release for Lynch if Tanini wants it. Opts to, but Day read it better off the boot. Now DeMarco. Back to Lynch. Just not enough on that pass. Now McCann. Lynch. This is that controlling play that Gungahlin didn't have in the first half. They're looking better now. And Brown plays Wolf. Now Lynch in a race with James, and James is going to get there. Through a mountain of work, Lynch. I did mention earlier she has done a couple of ultra marathons, so fitness, of course, isn't really going to hurt her too much. Patterson and Price. Patterson goes short to Wolf. Carnegie and Raymond. A lot of one-touch football, and that's how they get on the outer side. And Whittle just overcooked it. McCann. Now Lynch can play McCann. Has a chance, the fresh legs. Just took a little bit too long, and then the pass back inside was wanting. Now Pike. Looks for Bobbin in a race with Percival. The fresh legs here. No one there, though, for us. So Carnegie makes a run. And it'll get fall to her. Not it'll fall to her. But again, straight at Tanini. Goes the old drop kick. Carnegie, no, not quite. Percival back to Tanini on the left. She's so good with it. And now Patterson. This is better from Gungahlin. Brown. Now Lynch in space. Can play Brown against Rashard. Let's see what she can do here. Still no one in the box for her, so she'll go looking for Jacobson, and just that's where it's broken down for Gungahlin in the second half. Whittle back to Pike. Now playing in that left forward role, and she's Just getting through a mountain of work. Gets into the box. Could play Carnegie across the face. No. Fantastic work in defence there from Gungahlin. That time I think it was Corbett getting back in. Getting a foot in now. DeMarco. Takes on Whittle. Oh, that's a lovely touch. Scambali before, who managed to get back and save it all. Had a chance for Brown there if Lynch was better with the ball. Now Price. Oh, that was fantastic from Day back to Price. Now it opens up for Pike. One-on-one with Tanini. And there's the goal for Belconnen. 5-0. Just show how quickly they can turn defence into attack. So frustrating for Gungahlin. They've had far more run in this play and just haven't been able to make it count as just Rashart comes off and Rhiannon Davis makes her way onto the field. So fresh legs at centre back, and Wolf will make her way off, and it'll be Jade Brown in the number 23 coming on. So a couple of changes. Belconnen lead 5-0. If the balance of this second half perhaps a bit unfair, but that's why they're the champions. They make the most of their opportunities when they're given to them. Now, got a talk between Brown and Lynch. Lack of communication there, and Raymond against Lynch. Bit of frustration there. Have been better, and that'll be down to Price. There's an acre. Pike was in an acre of space. They took a little while to find her. Pull ball in, and Jacobson can't get it. Day plays it wide. Pike perhaps a little bit gassed on that occasion. So fantastic team performance from Belconnen in this one. 5-0. Will be some things they'll probably look over in the early stages of this second half, where Gungahlin was really pressing and had a couple of chances to put a goal on the board and looked a much improved side on the first half. But again, it always seems to be that when they are challenged, Belconnen always has an answer. Lynch plays it back to Gambali. Tanini good on both sides of the body, left or right foot. That's a fantastic ball from Jacobson for Brown against Raymond. Has it going one way then the other. Now Lynch on the left. Look to play Jacobson. Oh, that was better from Gungahlin. Freya Jacobson. A chance there against James, and that's fantastic play from James to open it up to Raymond. Now Whittle, who's moved more centrally again, back from that left back position. Carnegie can't control it. Gambali does. Jacobson had a nice ball looking for Corbett, just can't get there, and Pike, who's probably just about being best on ground, nearly found Bobbin, but McCann, who has the other set of fresh legs, has been quite good, but that one falls to Fauna. Has Carnegie if she wants it. This might fall to Whittle just yet. No, Patterson too strong there. Plays Lynch. Goes on the left. Just sort of sends it down, and in a hope, and the other Brown who's now on, Jade Brown. This is Catherine Brown. Day. Oh, read that beautifully. Patterson plays Ella Rose Brown. Just a little bit lackadaisical on that pass, and Whittle works Lynch under it. Then controls it. Oh, that was well done from Percival. Lynch and Whittle. Carnegie. Now DeMarco. There's Brown. That was strong against Catherine Brown. And then nutmegs her. And DeMarco controls it. This is the other Brown. It's a passage of Brown there. So that's all happening. And now Lynch. Now working probably in a more central midfield position now that Jade Brown's come on. Shouldn't really worry Kaylee Tonini too much, that ball. And Barley. Oh, she just puts her foot through that one. She's got a good release pass, does Sally James, and again Pike finding so much space on that left side. Might get it back here, doesn't. It's the thought that counts from Bobbin and Percival. And they again work it back, and Price was looking for Day and just couldn't find her. Ella Rose Brown and Patterson Whittle, and Whittle does so well there. Keeps it in. That time Ella Rose gets it back to Lynch. That's it. Could have raffled it between Corbett and DeMarco, but instead it fell with Pike, who's just been in everything since the opening whistle. Not long to go in this one. Belconnen up 5-0. Strong performance for them. Here's Fauna. Pike again. So much space. She looked to send it in. There's a couple in there. One of them's Whittle, the other was Bobbin. It falls to DeMarco instead, and she'll look to play it out. She's so confident on the ball. It's a ball to Brown, and just can't beat the other Brown. There'll be a sub here, and don't see this too often. So it'll be Sally James coming off, and the reserve goalkeeper for Belconnen today. In number 1 will be Jayla Murphy, who will come on in the number 1. So Jayla Murphy will get a couple of minutes in goal. Don't see that too often. But I guess when you're 5-0 up, the rules don't really apply. She's been a little bit of a handful since she's come on as Jade Brown. So a chance to test Jayla Murphy, see how... Oh, it falls to Freya, and Jayla's first test and she passes it. That's a wonderful use of the hands there. Out to Day. Fauna. Back to Price. Now Day. The time it was Davis turning it over. Lynch against Price, and Price on this occasion too good, and now Pike. Again controlling it, and now Catherine Brown on it. Jade Brown nearly gets it, but Brown again. Oh, that was a silky touch back into Bobbin, who slices straight through and then, set that one against the bar. That was a rocket from Bobbin. Now Whittle. Back to Fauna, and they'll just reset this. Fauna fantastic. Again, Pike. It's Carnegie wider. Tanani will get this one. Dealt with by Davis. Now Brown. Again, the space has been there in the second half, but they're quite satisfied at 5-0 Belconnen just to control it. And Brown will send it this other side, asking a little bit of Whittle, who's now moved into the right back position. Earlier she was playing left back, and prior to that she was left wing and struck. Oh, Bobbin. It's a wonderful ball in from Carnegie. Good pressure there from Ella Rose Brown. Can they get that consolation goal, though, Gungahlin? That's eluded them for much of this second half. Here at Gungahlin enclosed. Jade Brown. Meets Price in a strong challenge, and Price wins that one. Strong from Pike into Bobbin. That'll be a chance from Carnegie. It's ambitious, but it was nearly finding that top corner. In from Tanini. Day and Jacobson exchange headers. Just controlling it is Day. Under pressure here, but Brown does so well to get it forward. Now Fauna had Whittle making a run, doesn't use her. Raymond. Fauna. That's a searching ball. Tanini gets there. Otherwise, it may have fell to Carnegie to very well head home another one. To Marco, back to McCann. Just misses Lynch with that ball. Now Whittle. Can she get a double? Oh, just over the bar. It's a nice pass from Bobbin, though, to really allow Whittle to take that first touch. She opted to go outside and then hit it across the body. Because don't forget, she has been top scorer in this league before. Tanini looks to go long. This one falls to Brown against Raymond. Now Brown to Brown. This time Jade. Back to Lynch. Back to Ella Rose. Brown. And and a nervous moment there for Jayla Murphy, and she deals with the ball in the swirling breeze well, and there won't be a consolation goal there for Gungahlin. There's a bit of heart and mouth stuff. It was like time had slowed down there, and Jayla does well as the reserve keeper. Free kick there to Corbett. Played there from Percival. Now McCann. Over on the corner. She has. Tamarco now down. Looks like it cramped there. Numbers forward for Gungahlin here. It's a one to the front. It's a wonderful ball, and again, Jayla Murphy. That time it was Corbett with a surging header at the front post, and here come Belconnen on the counter-attack, the Blue Devils. Oh, she plays Bobbin. Plays it back into Carnegie, across the face and out for a corner. Looking for 6 here, Belconnen. In here, it's a wonderful ball from Carnegie, and Pike, can't make it 2, and just cleared there by Gambali. Not much time here in the stoppage. In there, and that'll just about do us here. Diego Iglesias keeps saying that time has expired, but Aisha Struth might put the whistle in the mouth here, and there it is. Belconnen convincing here at Gungahlin and closing this round 3 fixture. They've been strong from the start. Opening goal, of course, fell to Maddie Whittle before 2 goals to Nicole Jalocca and 1 to Sam Price to round out the first half. And then in the second half, just the 1 goal there to Bronte Pike, who I'm giving as the player of the game. She was fantastic on that left side for Belconnen this match. Signing off for Bar TV, it's Brentford, and have a good end to your weekend.